right, starting the recording, and we're good to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. And if everything is going well, you should be seeing my Canvas course. If you're not, please someone tell me. All right, so the first thing I want to do is just show you what a Google Cloud looks like on the student end, and then I'll show you how to set one up on the teacher end. So I have one right here in my module, and it's basically just going to be, a Canvas assignment. So most of the setup will be the same as what you would normally do for any other Canvas assignment, and the icon is still the same. So I'll open this up. I've somehow managed to get myself into my course as both a student and a teacher. Not sure how, but it seems to be working. So what you're seeing now is basically what you would see this part from the student end. So when you do a Google Cloud assignment, this message is going to pop up here, but you can also type things just like you could for a normal assignment. So if you want to put your directions on the actual Google Doc, you can do that, but you can also repeat them up at the top, and I'll show you where that is when we go into teacher mode. So a Google Cloud assignment basically lets you create a template or even like a worksheet type document that you are giving to students to submit back to you once they've completed it, and they'll do that in Canvas. What a Google Cloud assignment does is it saves students from having to make a copy of things. So if you create a if you just create a regular Canvas assignment and put a link to a Google document or Google Slides you've created, they would then have to open it, make a copy, then fill it out and submit it. So Google Cloud saves them the step of having to do that. It also saves you the step of having to do the forced copy if you've been using the forced copy trick, which allows students to click on it and then it automatically forces a copy. So what students will see, they'll actually see whatever you've created embedded. It would be really difficult to try to do this in Canvas, but they could actually just start typing right on it within Canvas and complete it. To open it in a new tab, they would just click the title of it and it will open in a full new tab. So what you have to be careful about is it's sort of backwards from a text box assignment in Canvas. So when you create an assignment in Canvas and give students the text entry option, they have to click submit before the text box appears. With the Google Cloud assignment, it's a little more intuitive. They hit submit after it's completed. So if I hit submit now, this is going to just submit a blank document to my teacher because I haven't actually typed anything. So they don't want to click submit until they've actually completed it. So when I open this in a new tab, I can get the full document that I need to complete here as a student, work through it. So I've just set up a KWL chart that I want them to work through. And then as a student, once I've completed these pieces, I would go back here and click submit. Any questions so far? Okay. Google Cloud assignments do not work for group assignments. So I'm not sure if any of you have tried using the group assignment feature in Canvas, but that basically allows you to assign something to a group to complete, and then only one member of the group would submit it back to you, and you would just grade that one, and the grade would go to all group members. So Google Cloud assignments right now do not work with that group setting, so you can't use it with that. The other thing I would not use a Google Cloud assignment for is a long-term project. I think Marnie, you and I had talked about this, and I know Jamie does something like this in PE as well. So if I've created a template and I want students to let's say they're journaling once a week, and I want them to keep submitting that same journal to me that they're just adding to. If I did that as a Google Cloud assignment every time, it would just start a brand new one. And so I wouldn't see their progress that they were making. So in that instance, I might set the first one up as a Google Cloud assignment because that will get them the template to start with. And then every assignment that follows that, I would set it up as an online assignment file upload. So the first time they get the template, they start working through it, they submit it. The second week, they're adding their journal entries. They go to their Google Drive and submit the one they've already started working on. Does that make sense? I can't see you, so I will take your silence to mean yes. Let me know if it doesn't. So that's the other instance that I would not use a Google Cloud assignment, because they're just going to keep submitting the new piece over and over again and not build on it like you want them to. All right, I'm going to pop back out to you guys for a second. Any questions so far? Good. Hi, Kim. All right, I'm going to go back out and show you the setup end on the teacher side. All right, so I'm going to go into another course. Where I will be a teacher. So if I'm adding a Google Cloud assignment to a module, I would just go through the process of adding an assignment like I normally would. And so again, if I don't have the directions typed on the Google Docs or Google Slides that I'm linking for them, I might type that here. Points you're going to put in the same way. Assignment group, if you're shooting this over to Skyward, you're going to put in the same way. The place where you tell it that you want it to be a Google Cloud assignment is going to be the submission type. So this is really the only piece that's different from a regular Canvas assignment. So my submission type is going to be an external tool. And once I get this far, I'm going to click this Find button. And this gets a little tricky because there's like a third scroll bar hidden in here for some reason. So people scroll down and then it kind of doesn't go far enough. And if it stops at C, if you scroll over, you're going to see another scroll bar here. So you are looking for Google Docs Cloud Assignment, but this will work for Docs or Slides. And when I click this, because my school Google account is synced with my Canvas account, it's actually pulling up my Joomla Google Drive. So I can search for the title of what I'm looking for, or if I've made a handy dandy folder for myself. Oop, I can do it that way, except for I clicked it too many times. Please hold. And then you can just pull up any docs or slides that you've created that you want students to complete. And then once I've selected it, you'll see that URL populate there. So I'm just going down to save so we can see what it looks like. And this is the one piece in Canvas that looks pretty similar, whether you're in as a student or as a teacher, you just don't get the submit button. So this was just a very simple template if I wanted students to create like a trifold brochure in Google Slides, but I thought some of them might struggle with putting the 3 lines in the folding spot. I just created this very simple thing, so there are no directions on here. It's just something that I want to give them to work on, and trying to get ahead of any issues that they may have building that. But because there aren't any directions or anything here, I would definitely want to type those up at the top because it's just a template that I've created. Just to kind of show you a couple of other things. Anything that you want students to fill out, it could be that simple, but it could also be something. I didn't create a worksheet, but I just want to show you this in Google Docs. One thing that I see students struggle with a lot is when we give them like an underlined space to type on. So if you are creating a worksheet or a template in Google Docs for students to complete, I always recommend giving them table boxes to type in, because if I give them a line to type on, as soon as they start typing on it, everything moves over. I can spell my name, guys, don't worry. And so then they end up messing around with the formatting because they're afraid that they messed up your line. So it will be a lot cleaner if you provide them just table boxes to type in. It makes it a little easier for students to know what they need to fill out where there. You can also turn a PDF into a Google Doc. Depending on how much formatting is on it, it may end up being more work than it's worth. It might be faster to just retype it. But if you do have something as a PDF and you upload it to your Google Drive, you always get the option to open with Docs, which basically then turns it into a Google Doc, which you could then turn into a Google Cloud assignment. So we'll see how much. So you see some of the formatting gets messed up. If you have images and tables, it usually gets pretty messy, but at least all of the text is here. And then I could just change these to boxes or do whatever I need to do to make that fillable for students. So things that you have scanned or that you find online that are PDFs, you can turn into Google Docs and use those. Again, just depending on the formatting, there may be some cleanup involved there. And these are just I have some more Google Slides examples. This was an Instagram template that I used with Kayleen Arizzi in Spanish. Might have been last year, it might have been year before last. And this was something where we actually put the directions out to the side here. We wanted to give them a template, but also an example. And because it's slides, then they can just add a new slide using the same template, or they can delete what I've put in there and fill it out. So students aren't spending the point of the project isn't for them to create an Instagram look and slides. The point is for them to practice their language. So we take out all of that time by creating the template for them, and then they just actually do the content or the skills practice and submit that back. So that's another option, is you can put the directions out to the side there, turn that into a Google Cloud assignment. I also have this creepy doll one that people love as well. So anything that you want to create ahead of, it could be a KWL chart or any type of chart that you don't want them to spend their time creating, you can create those templates for them, turn them into Google Cloud assignments, and then the students can fill them out and resubmit them back to you. That's basically Google Cloud assignments. Do you guys have any questions or thoughts, or would this work?
Jana?
Bernie?
Yes. When we go on and we click the external tool,
Yep.
and then it says find, and we go to our Google Drive, we want to find the document that we want to upload in there, and we click on it. Does the share settings matter at that point? For example, does it have to be edited, viewable, or viewer, or edited? I mean, it's different when we do like a link. You have to make it editable or just viewer, and then they make a copy of it and then they edit their own. I don't want them to change my original. Does it matter on Google Cloud?
No, so that would save you a step as well, because when you create that cloud assignment, then you don't have to go through and change the settings and right, it's not going to, I'm sending you guys the Canvas guide for Google Cloud assignments as well. That way you don't have to change those settings, and it's not going to impact your original. It basically creates a forced copy automatically. So it doesn't impact your original, and each student gets a unique copy. So if one student starts typing on it, the other students don't see that.
Got it. That's great.
How does, when they submit it, like for grading purposes, is there something different than normal assignments on Canvas?
No, that's a good question, John. It's going to look the same. It basically takes a snapshot of that document, and then you would see that in SpeedGrader. So what you see is going to look like a PDF. So after they hit submit, even if they go back and add things or change things, those changes are not going to be reflected in what you see in SpeedGrader, because it's taking as soon as they hit submit, it's taking a snapshot of what they've completed on that document at that time. Now they can, so Canvas assignments, you used to always be able to resubmit to the same assignment. That's now an option. When you set it up, you can decide whether or not students can resubmit to that assignment, or you can limit it to one submission. So sometimes they might have accidentally sent you the wrong file, and then they can resubmit the correct file, but you can set it so that they can only submit it once. That way you know that the one they turn in is the original, and then they can just email you if they need to resubmit because they turned in the wrong file.
Just a quick question on quick question on the editing. If you set this document up, they get to they're typing on it, but how do we lock in that they don't change the original document? I guess is that.
It happens automatically. So it's basically like a forced copy. So as soon as they click it, as soon as they open the assignment, it's created, because their Google account is also synced with their Canvas account. It's created a unique copy for them. So they're good to go. There's nothing you have to set so that they don't mess up your original. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a really powerful tool in Canvas assignments. Whether you're doing docs or slides, templates, things for them that you want them to turn back in directly through Canvas, and it alleviates a lot of the emailing and sharing and sending back and forth, because it's all done through Canvas assignments. All right, gang, that's all I have. Shoot me an email if you run into any problems as you get started. I did send you the link in the chat, so if you didn't grab that yet, make sure you grab it before the meeting closes, because it's going to disappear once we get out of here. And that's just the Canvas guide. So if you just need a refresher, if you're not sure where to click, that will walk you through, and it's got all those screenshots on there. I do also have a bunch of templates, so if you ever need it, like, hey, do you have a template for, ask me, because I may already have one created, and then that will save you some time. So for different charts and types of student projects, just ask me, because I may already have something created that you can use, or at least get you started. All right, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you all soon. Bye.
All right.
You get the link?